Hey, this is Dr. Brian Ailes with the What Ails You podcast, and this is episode 5. And I wanted to preface this episode because the guest is a 27-year-old MMA fighter, and his dream for MMA started at 7 years old. And through tragedy after tragedy, he came through so much. It was just inspirational, and I really, really hope you enjoy it. Let's get into it.
You know, when I first met Tiki, I was homeless, right? And like I was sharing all these things with like my fights. I'm like, hey, like can you help me out? Like,
yeah.
And since then, when I first met him, I'm sorry, when after I met him and he's putting me on in these different places, training with all these different people, I'm like, holy shit, like this is awesome. You know, like the things that he's done for me, words aren't enough to explain how grateful I am for him, how valuable he is to me in my life, and where I'm going and what I want to do. Like,
I love this.
He's probably one of the most important people in my life right now.
All right, Anthony. Nice to meet you, man.
You too, brother.
Yeah. So Tiki mentioned that you'd be a good candidate for this podcast. And the reason being is you've got quite a story to tell. What are you excited about these days?
Well, right now we're supposed to have a meeting this week about when I'm supposed to fight again.
Okay.
I don't know what day. I don't even know what today is, but I know we're meeting sometime soon.
Okay, good. So this week you guys are going to have conversations about potentially a follow-up fight, which has been a while for you, right?
Yes, it's been about almost 3 years now.
Okay, so you said 2023.
Yeah.
So when you look at fighting, how did you end up getting interested in MMA?
Oh man, it's a crazy story actually, but I'll make it short.
Yeah.
I have 5 older brothers, and my oldest brother, he wrestled in high school, and then he shortly after started doing MMA, and then I was very close to my father, and I couldn't go with him to work because he's a truck driver.
Right.
So then he's like, just go with your brother. If you like it, you never have to go back. And I remember those exact words because I remember when I walked in, I was like, well, this place looks cool, you know? And then my brother had like a one-on-one session, and then they were doing some sort of combo into a takedown. And then I remember sitting at the stairs at the edge of the cage. He double legs this guy, takes him down, and my eyes were wide and my jaw was dropped. And I was like, I'm gonna do this for the rest of my life.
So he gave you the opportunity to go in with the phrase, if you like this, you can do it.
Yeah, and if you don't like it, you don't ever have to go back.
Was one of the brothers the only one that's in it, or you have 5 brothers?
5 older brothers, yes.
Woo! Yeah. So that day went amazing for you, and you knew, boom, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
So was there a wrestling background for you before that, or was that your first initiation to do any kind of martial art
First
or wrestling?
initiation.
How old were you then?
7.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So you started right away.
Yeah, I loved it, you know.
And so you did those classes, and did you branch out and get wrestling in specifically, and then striking in specifically, and jiu-jitsu in specifically, or did you work it all at one time?
At the time, I think there was so much to do because the sport's still very young.
Yeah.
So I kind of just went into everything. But then there was a moment in my life where I kind of I was probably about 13-ish, and I was like, you know what, I need to make a decision on what I really want to do.
Yeah.
And so I decided to only focus on wrestling for a while. And I did MMA during the summers.
I think it's a great move, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, the pressure with wrestling is insane.
Oh my gosh. When I started wrestling competitively, it was crazy, but it was the best. It was the best feeling in the world.
I just want to ask this. Is it tougher to train striking and takedowns as opposed to wrestling as wrestling?
You're actually the first person asking that.
Well, it's a big deal because I kind of know the wrestling side of things, and it's heavy, man. And I don't know. I mean, I've been at HB. I used to have a clinic there and all that, and I would watch Biz Bing and these guys, and it's work. But when I wrestling to me almost is like a pinnacle of effort.
From the competitive side of it, like you said, everybody's they're so committed to it.
I know.
You know, like people will move. They'll move to other sides of the country. They'll go travel for a couple of years to go get better. Like
I get it.
It's crazy, and I don't know. It's just, I think for myself, when I think of wrestling, it's easily like harder, to tell you the truth.
I figured it would be.
Yeah.
I figured it would be.
Yeah.
I mean, with those, not even with just the school connection, it's, I think the wrestling itself, I've gone to Fargo a couple times and watched that whole deal where you've got these young guys that are just up and coming. I think they're like first in state or first in regional. And then you've got recruiters looking at those matches and stuff in North Dakota, and it was huge.
Yep, and everything matters.
And everything matters. I was just blown away, and the parents were so supportive and just 100%. So into it. It was amazing. So wrestling to me, I regret it. I think in 7th grade I was going to go into it, and I said, I'm too much of a pussy. And I didn't do it. It's like killed me because I didn't start any martial arts until I was like 40 something.
You know what's funny? If there is one piece of advice I could give to anyone, is I would tell them to wrestle competitively and finish doing it all through high school.
Really?
All the way. Everybody I've ever met to start getting into MMA or anything in this realm, everyone says, I wish I would have wrestled.
It's pretty foundational, isn't it?
Oh my gosh. It's like on my day-to-day, like I'm usually up like 4, 5, or 6 in the morning every day, and I'm at the gym. I'll work out, and then I work the front desk. I'll teach a class, and then I'll help with something that needs to be get fixed. I'll clean something, and like I'll have like 14, 15-hour days. But for me, like it's not a problem. And I don't think about it, But for most people, it's like, why would you work that hard? Why would you do anything that hard? For me, it's like, that's normal. Why wouldn't I work that hard?
Well, you love it.
Oh my gosh, But I think those foundational, like I can work hard thoughts come from wrestling. Like I've been through worse.
So you understood exactly.
Yeah.
That's an interesting point. So you've kind of been hardened, and you've been kind of in this position of, what a rough day feels like. And maybe this 14, 15 hour doesn't even feel as rough as some of the days that you were in wrestling, right?
100%.
That's the truth.
100%.
Which is crazy.
Yep.
All right. So how did you get into Tiki's place?
Short story.
Yeah.
I got invited. A buddy of mine.
Okay, great.
Yeah, a buddy of mine was training with Brian. He's like, hey, you want to come? I was like, sure, I'm down.
Oh, with Ortega?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
And then another time he goes, hey, there's a big guy. You want to come? Sure. Cool. All right, let's go. I think, so like when it first kind of all happened, it was just like I would come every once in a while. And then I had a couple fights lined up, and then I reached out to Tiki, and I was like, hey, dude, I had a couple fights lined up, and everything fell apart. Like I don't know what to do, and I need some advice. And he tells me your manager takes care of that. And I was like, I don't really got one, dude.
He goes, I'll be it, right?
And he goes, all right, well, let's talk. I said, here I am.
That's killer. Okay.
Yeah, here I am.
And he's come a long way with the managing side of things too, which I love.
Oh my gosh, I've heard so many good stories about it, and
amazing. He's amazing.
I haven't even known him for that long, but just from what I have heard, I'm actually really proud of him. That's really sick, dude. Really, really sick to know that what he has and what he's accomplished and what he's doing now.
I think you got a little trifecta going on because Rob and who's the wrestling coach's name?
Paul
again?
Herrera.
Paul.
Yeah.
Amazing. I just know these guys. And I knew Rob in 2012, known Tiki the whole time. I don't talk to wrestling coach as much, but I do know his background and what all the patients that I've treated that have actually trained there and have worked with him. The guy's amazing. So what's it like for you to work with these 3 guys? How does that get broken up? Is Tiki part of your training, or is he more of your management? And if that's the case, I want to get an idea of how those 3 kind of shape how things go. Because you've got a conversation potentially this week where you're going to be talking about putting a fight together somewhere, finding a spot, right?
Right.
How does it work with all 3 of those, and what are their roles specifically? I mean, I could say wrestling coach, but there's probably more to Paul than wrestling.
Right.
And I figured that. So what do you think about that? Just give me some ideas.
Paul would technically be considered more of my head MMA coach.
Okay, interesting. Right. I didn't expect that.
Right. Well,
I would not expect that.
It's the best way to put it, like the gap between striking and grappling is wrestling. That gap right there is it could be pivotal for fighting, like some guys are strikers, some guys are grapplers.
Yes.
If I know the guy that I'm fighting is a better striker than I am, I might grapple him, might not. I don't know. It just depends on the day, how I'm feeling, But
I get it.
If that's the game plan, then at least I know that my coach is going to put me in a good position to make it happen.
Yeah.
Right? Or if maybe this guy's got better jiu-jitsu than I do, then how am I going to use my wrestling to keep it on the feet? you know?
Yeah.
So it's one of those points that it's such a gap that I'm very fortunate enough to have him to be like there from like, hey, do X, Y, and Z, and then stay in this position.
I got it.
And then like the way it also kind of goes to with Rob and Tiki is like their specialty is a lot more striking, right? And sometimes it's a little this, a little that, you know, and when putting it all together, as I'm training and as I'm putting things together, it works in a way that's like, oh, that's like really, really cool.
Yeah.
Right. Because then like with Rob's my head striking coach.
Yes.
Him and everything that he's put together. He's also has this striking program called
RSS, right?
Yeah. That's the program that I teach. And honestly, I've gotten a lot from it that has set up my striking in such a crazy way. Working with Rob has been like mind blowing.
Did you think, based on what's happened in the last few years, that you would be sitting here right now talking about the fact that you get to train with these three great coaches and have a fight coming up potentially in the short term? Did you believe that based on what has happened?
I think from the moment I stepped foot in the gym, I always knew that one, I want to do this for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
But I also knew that one day I was going to be the best in the world.
Okay, so we take a moment here and bring up what happened to you, because I got word of this, but I need to know like what happened with regard to this accident. And there's the inability to walk and the weight gain and all of that. I need to know that story, because that is the comeback that you came through to right now, where you're ready to start and actually schedule another fight, right?
Yes. So
Huge.
this is an interesting story. I was 20 and I was going through some things in my life, and then I thought I was a cool guy and I had a really cool car and I was in a car club, right? Oh my gosh, I was so dumb. But essentially this night, like...
Not really dumb. Not really
I was young. You know?
I get it.
But this night, everyone's like, hey, let's hang out. All right, cool. And then like we like cars, all of us, you know?
Yeah.
So this night we're driving each other's cars around the block. And one of my buddies goes, hey, like, let's take your car. I was like, all right, cool. Like we're all doing it anyways. Let's go. He ended up going further than what I anticipated. And genuinely, no one did anything wrong. No one was under the influence, which I get the questions asked all the time.
I get it.
He just didn't see a stop sign. And
Oh, he was driving.
yeah, he was driving.
He's driving your car.
Yeah, because again, that's what we were doing that night.
Got
right?
it.
And unfortunately, you know, we got into an accident and 2 people passed away, and it was pretty bad accident. Anyway, so I tore my MCL, my meniscus, and my IT band. And at the time, like I remember, I was like, oh gosh, like I didn't know what to do. I was freaking out, and I couldn't walk right. And then so like I was essentially like, that accident kind of was a pivotal moment for my life, right? So I was dating someone who was a manager at Chick-fil-A, and because she felt bad for me that I was in this accident, I couldn't walk, she'd bring a lot of food. And I'm talking like bags of food like this.
Chick-fil-A food.
So imagine like 2.5, 3 months, like I'm bedridden because my knee's messed up.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh.
You literally couldn't walk.
I couldn't walk, right? So
Man.
I remember, I just remember putting down a lot of Chick-fil-A food. Next thing I know, I'm 305 pounds. And I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. Like, I remember having to tie my shoe. I'd put it up like on a stool. I'm like,
Yeah.
it was crazy. And then, and then it just kind of sent me down a spiral. You know, I was an alcoholic for a little bit, and found myself in places I shouldn't have been. And then one day I made some crazy calls. I was like, you know what? I don't want my life to be like this. And then I just started focusing. I need to get back in shape, you know?
Did you get the help you needed with regard to the injuries? I mean, were the surgeries there? Was everything taken care of at that time?
At first, no.
So they got to like become a bit of a chronic injury before they were actually taken care of properly?
Yes. So
Okay, that's important.
yeah, essentially what had happened was I went to a chiropractor, and they put on, I can't remember what it was, but they could put the stuff on my these tabs, and it was flexing all my muscles, and then
Yeah, they're putting like a complex machine on there to fire.
yeah, and then that was it. I never did anything past that.
Well, that is not going to solve the tears that
figured.
you had, obviously,
figured.
right? So
And then I think at the time, everything that was messed up, I can't remember what it was, but I think they just couldn't see it clearly on the images they were taking.
Well, did they do an MRI?
Yeah, I believe they did,
Okay.
but I think they actually don't. They just did an X-ray.
That's the biggest mistake I hear over and over and over.
And so like I was like, all right, cool. Like I just walked it off, and then the next couple of years, I got bigger, stronger, and it's made it work, you know. And then like I even turned pro like that.
Did you have surgeries?
I just did. So
you got through all of that without having surgeries with all of those tears.
yeah, yeah.
You healed them up on your own.
I pretty much did.
It's the beauty of youth, huh?
Well, I mean,
My gosh.
I'm not gonna sit here and tell you it didn't hurt. So many things I did were like running hurts, training hurts, walking hurts. Not as bad now.
Okay, good.
Now. But I would say like a 1 out of 10 at most. Like
okay, so that's doable.
Yeah.
That's doable.
But no, it was actually when I met T that he's like, all right, well, if this is what after that conversation I'd mentioned, he's like, we're not gonna do anything till you get fixed. I was like, all right, cool. And then I was on it. I need to get fixed right now. And then when I got the MRI, I was like, holy crap, I didn't know I had all of that.
Oh, so you didn't know you had all those tears?
I didn't have
through
no
the whole
idea.
time that through that whole year where you're gaining weight with Chick-fil-A? Mm-hmm. Wow, this is quite a story.
Yeah,
Let me ask you something that's a little bit deeper here,
hit me.
because it's the first thing that came to my mind. You were in a car with a buddy, and 2 people passed away. Mm-hmm. That's heavy.
Yeah.
Did that affect you in a long-term way? I mean, that is something where if that happened to me, clearly it's a mistake. You guys aren't on drugs, whatever, but that's got to be so freaking heavy.
Yeah.
And that is something where you said, oh, I started drinking, I couldn't walk, I'm eating Chick-fil-A. Was there like a pretty heavy depressive state
Yeah.
for a long time?
Very long time. Like when I was,
Wow.
so there
This
was
is a big deal.
There was a couple other things that happened during that time frame as well. But
Yeah.
I think everything that was going on at the moment, like it was very hard for me, you know, but I understood that I also put myself in that position.
I get it.
And so with that being said, it kind of just like, I remember like I would go to work, I'd wake up like 5:30, 5:45, clock in by 6. I lived right down the street.
Yeah.
I'd go to work, and I think first break was like around 8 o'clock, the lunch was around 10 o'clock. And I remember at 10 o'clock, I would drive to the store, I'd buy a 3-pack of tall cans and pound 1, pound 2, and then wait to go back to work. And then, yeah. And
What was the job?
I used to work at Haas Automation.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah, I used to build CNC machines. I hated that job.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, the job itself was fun. The management was terrible.
Okay, got it.
Terrible. But the job was
Well, you had
fun.
a little anonymity to be able to just kind of like do this little morning routine and still get the job done.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so that started it, huh?
Yeah.
Did it escalate from there?
Yeah.
It did, huh?
I got to one point where I was probably drinking like a bottle and a 30-pack every day at one point.
A 30-pack?
Of beer, yeah.
A 30-pack?
A 30-pack. Because you figured I'd wake up, I'd have like 3 tall boys between
8 and 10.
8 and 10, 10 and 2, and then so that's like 6 beers already. So then like I'm the head starter, so I'm just gonna run it for the rest of the day.
Unbelievable. Yeah. This went on for how long?
I'd say about a year and a half.
And that was during the weight gain time that you weren't even aware of?
I was still, I knew I was big, but for me it didn't feel that big, you know? And
so let me ask you this then. So if at 7 you knew that you were going to be an MMA fighter, what the hell's going on during this time with regard to your dream?
That's a good question. I think when it happened, I allowed myself to feel it, you know, because like I said, there was a lot of things going on at that time in my life. And I think that I allowed myself to just ride the wave. And then it got to a point where I was starting to get content with life. And I was like, I don't like this. You know, I was working a job where I was working 14 hours.
You hated the job.
I hated the job. And
you had to have hated the drinking. It was just a coping mechanism.
yeah. But then the worst part was I was like, I'm only, 22, 23 at this time? Damn. I'm like, dude, I've got so many more years to live. I don't want the rest of my life to be like this. I was like, I'm just going to get back in shape. That's my first goal. Let's just get back in shape. And yeah.
So so let me back up a little bit. You had no surgeries. You had no indication of the severity of the injuries that you suffered in that accident. Mm-hmm. And you just decided through pain and through whatever, you're going to make that switch. Now, Was that so roughly a year after, right? This is when you decided to make the change, right?
Pretty much.
So with regard to that, you couldn't walk. Were you rehabbing yourself into walking?
No, I just kind of just like dealt with it.
You just hobbled around?
Pretty much until it was like good enough to like squat, bend over, and stuff like that. Like there was no like any kind of rehabilitation. There was just what I was mentioning earlier with the
one chiro with an e-stim machine that went bzz, 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 that was it.
Yeah, and they told me I was fine. Put some like icy hot on it, and that was it.
And then you hobbled out, and they said you're totally fine as you're hobbling out the freaking office. Okay, wow, it's pretty amazing. This is mind blowing.
Yeah,
to have the function that you have right now and be able to fight at the level that you're fighting.
Yeah,
that's you.
Yeah.
So I know you had a surgery. So this surgery took place. So you made this decision that you're going to get into shape. You were 300 pounds. When you made the decision, did you keep that job and make those changes with that job, or did you just change everything all at once? You just do a full 180 on your life?
At the time, I kept the job.
Okay, and you needed to because you needed the money, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Good.
At the time,
Good
I was
answer.
living with my dad, so I needed to do it.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'll make it work.
Yeah.
You know?
So how did you fit that in? If you're working 14-hour days, what are you doing?
I go after work. Yeah, just
unbelievable.
Like I said, because I wrestled, you know. So the long days, they're easy for me.
So look at the idea of wrestling. Wrestling, if you could say, I recommend everybody go through wrestling from beginning to end, and the answer is why? Because the resiliency and the ability to get shit done, it becomes second nature. Is that a true statement?
Yeah, 100%.
It's unbelievable. 100%. Now I even regret more not going there.
Yeah, no, dude. Everybody says that, dude. Everybody
it's
says
crazy.
That.
I'm always jealous. I got a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and when I train with someone who has a wrestling background, it is just work, man. I am pinned like I've never been pinned by a blue belt that wrestled for years.
Yep.
Can hold me in a position where I am really having to get creative to get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
It's insane. So I've always envied wrestling. That's why I brought it up in the beginning, because it's just such a valuable thing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I'm like I said, it's probably one of the best things I've ever done in my whole entire life.
Amazing. So how do you feel after that whole big piece? Do you feel let's ask this. How is the accident and everything that goes along with it, the friends, the lifestyle, the loss of life, all of that, has that in some way, have you flipped that into a positive?
Absolutely. Okay,
explain how you flip that into a positive, because a lot of people would not come out of that. You know, I just had a buddy who I used to play guitar with I'm older, back in the early 80s. And I'm just going to say this real quick because it's so sad. It was like I stopped talking to him for a long time because he was into different stuff than I was. You know, we were smoking pot and doing all this stuff, blah, blah. It was like, you know, we play guitar in bands and things. But, you know, he was a few years older than me. And I found out, you know, just recently that he had a neck surgery that failed. And then he started smoking pot. And then he started using a little bit of fentanyl with it. And I think it was this plan just to fade away. And that killed me. And so there's a situation like yours where you could have gone one direction or the other direction, and you chose to go the direction that wrestling, in my opinion, put in your mind to say, hey, we're going to get this done. And then you went full bore. It's just crazy because I see this with patients all the time.
Yeah.
It's like there's one direction or the other.
Yeah.
And it's either you get out of it and you elevate yourself, or you stay there and you just slowly fade away. And you didn't do that. It's amazing.
I think the biggest thing is the reason, your why.
Yeah.
You know, and I think
you were young too.
Yeah,
you got a whole life ahead of you.
Yeah, 100%. I think for myself,
crazy.
my why, the most. Oh man, this will probably make me get a little sad. Is it's my dad.
Is he around?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
I have the greatest father on the planet. I love that dude. Even though he annoys the hell out of me, he's still my best friend.
Yeah.
But my dad, my dad had 6 kids by the time he was 28, 29.
Wow.
Yeah, he started really young, even though the first 2 weren't his. But my brother, my dad, man, he would work 16-hour days. You know,
he was a grinder too.
All day long, exactly. And my dad, like I mentioned, he played the guitar, and my dad had been playing the guitar since about the same age I started doing MMA.
Yeah.
And oh man, this is the part that gets me. My dad calls me and he tells me like, I wish I would have pursued that dream. He goes, I had to work. I had so many kids, and I had to. There was no ifs, ands, or buts. I had to go to work. I had to wake up and go to work.
That passionate about guitar.
Yeah, and
he didn't get to do it.
No.
But what he got to do was support you.
Yeah.
In what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a beauty in that too. As you get older, you'll see that
100%.
Sacrifice that he had to make your sacrifices and the things that you went through, he sacrificed for you to be where you are right now, which
100%.
is amazing.
100%.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So my next question was who was supporting you through this transition to where you are now? Clearly your dad.
Yeah.
But what kind of network did you have around you to get through all of the job you hated, the injuries, the weight, the drinking, all of that? You could put a good percentage of that on the way that you think because you're that kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
But what was the support group around you?
3 people.
Who were those 3 people?
My dad and my brothers that I mentioned earlier.
Okay, so when you say 3, you had 5 brothers.
Yes.
So it was a couple of those brothers.
2 of those brothers, yes.
Okay, and you're still very close with them right now?
Unfortunately, not as close with one of them, but the other one, I call him like every day. When I get out of here, I'll probably call him.
Okay, got it. So you got 3 people. It was your dad and your 2 brothers that got you through this, along with yourself.
Along with myself.
Okay, and then so with regard to getting to the point, when did you know that you could kind of restart the dream of MMA?
You want to know something funny? It wasn't restarting the dream. I kind of like...
No. Let me, okay, you tell me what you're thinking there. It was already there. It was still there the whole time.
Yes and no.
Okay, you got to explain this one to me now.
So this is where it gets interesting, right? So when I started to come back down from being that big, I was like, in my head, I was like, I'm not gonna make it to the UFC. I don't know how any of that would work anyways. Like, yeah, I know I'm still young, but I'm like in my head, the time frame's got to be now. John Jones was a world champ at what, 23?
Yep.
Like I'm way behind, so I'm like, it's not gonna happen, But then I was like, but that doesn't mean I can't fight. Why not just fight, And
True.
So my brothers, I was like, hey, let's book a fight, and I was like, okay, but I was still an amateur.
You booked a camo.
Through Camel, yes.
Okay, got it.
And so I had one booked up. Didn't happen. Whatever.
The guy didn't show up, or it just didn't happen?
It's just the fight got canceled. Oh, he got injured or something like that.
That happens all the time.
Oh my gosh, so
like
annoying.
Over and over.
So we booked another one. Same thing happens. Booked a third one. Same thing happens. 15 times that happened.
15 just canceled shows.
15 canceled ones. Right?
Wow.
So then...
you didn't give up because you're a wrestler.
Yeah. So I told him, I pretty much.
That's exactly why.
I looked at my brothers. I was like, fuck it. Let's just go pro. And they're like, all right, well, let's do it then. But mind you, after coming off this huge hiatus, I should have had no business going pro. But I just said, fuck it.
Yeah, but it still benefited from somehow you're here, right?
Yeah.
So you're
100%.
here right now.
100%.
You went pro. And did you guys find a niche, a spot, a place? This is before HP Ultimate, right?
Before I went there, yeah. So like we were training at, honestly, we were just training at some random like commercial gym.
Doesn't matter. You just did it though,
yeah,
right?
we were just like, let's do it. Like I already know how to wrestle, so I'm fine.
I got it.
Then all we have to do is work the striking. So let's do it.
Wow. So you found a striking coach through.
It was my brother, like I mentioned a minute ago.
Great.
So like I had everything I needed, and I was just like, let's just do it. Like why not? Like what is there holding us back?
That's amazing.
Let's just go. And fortunately, so like I mentioned, my brother was a wrestler, and all of his teammates, obviously, they ventured off in life.
Yeah, I get it.
One of them became a fight promoter in Colorado. So we reached out. We're like, hey, dude, we like, let's do it. Like, he wants to turn pro. You down?
So give me a little bit more detail on when you guys made that decision. You were at just a regular gym. Mm-hmm. You guys were self-sufficient. He had the skills to hold pads for you and do what you needed to do. Mm-hmm. Did he actually have enough experience and stuck with it long enough to where you can rely on him for a consistent progression?
I still go to my brother.
Yes. Okay, this is great.
My brother and I, like I said, he's the brother that we're best friends.
He's in your corner.
His name's Steven.
On every fight, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I wish he
Steven.
was, but I think.
Oh, he can't be.
Unfortunately, no. Just because with my brother, he's got 3 kids, and he's a very busy guy. So like I get that.
Okay, got it.
And but not only that, when I moved down to Huntington Beach.
Oh, because he's in Oxnard.
Yes.
Okay,
So when I started to do all of it, I was just like, I think at the time I needed to do it for me, and I think it's very at the time I think I didn't understand how to separate the fighting from the family. Like everyone's so emotionally involved that it's hard.
Understood.
It's like I need to take the weight, the emotional weight off of me and focus on fighting.
Understood.
Know?
Okay.
But I still go to him. I'm like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that?
It's probably super valuable. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah.
It's an incredible thing. So with regard to, I'm going to ask you these. I just want to throw these out there. I'm just going to say a word. I'm just going to say the word, and I want you to respond to the word with what like, I'm trying to get like a grip on how you think, and I kind of already know. You're like,
I'm a wrestler.
You're intense. You're a wrestler. You're passionate as hell, which is amazing. But I'm going to put out the word discipline. What does that mean to you?
Showing up when you don't want to.
Okay, that's a huge one.
Yeah.
That is a huge one. And you have no issue with that.
No.
It's like boom, right?
Well, I never want to do anything. If I could, I would just wilt away, you know. But I have to, you know. I have to. So I was like, all right, let's go.
Okay, so that's a great answer. So the next one is fear.
Laugh at the face of fear. Just do it.
Laugh at the face of fear. Okay. Yeah. Are you good at that?
I try to be.
Yeah, I mean, you know, interesting. I just asked that because I competed only in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And I was, I had a lot of anxiety as a young adult. And I can't not say that I wasn't fearful in a partly excited way before going into the bullpen and then getting onto mat 3. And then you got this guy and I started over. It was like, it was an adrenaline kind of freaking pump, right? But sometimes to a detriment, sometimes not. It depends on the day. But when you look at MMA and I say to you the word fear, you say look it in the face. Do you feel like fear gets in the way of your ability to wrap your head around winning about and moving on?
Yes. Yes, 100%. Yes and no.
How does it get in the way and how does it benefit you?
I think the one thing, there's a very fine line with fear, is when you're very afraid, you'll overthink things. For sure. And then you won't do it.
That's true.
Right? And I think but I think at the same time, if you're too fearless, then...
Stupid mistake.
Look at Ilya Taporia and Justin Gaethje, for instance, you know?
What a crazy situation, huh?
He had no respect for Justin Gaethje's power, and look what happened. He lost.
I know.
He got his ass kicked.
It was brutal.
So I think there's a very fine line, but I think that being afraid, like, you just got to overcome it.
Yeah, that actually, you bring that back up. That was so brutal. It was amazing.
Yeah, it really was.
I need to rewatch the whole that whole card.
It was really good, all the way around.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
unbelievable. That was unbelievable. So, okay. How about, and I think I have an answer to this one, but identity. The word identity.
It is what you want it to be.
Okay. And what is it for you now? What is your identity right now?
Right now, life has changed a lot within the last few years.
Heck yeah, but it's changed amazing for you, right?
Yeah. I think my identity now is I'm solely focused on my fight career.
That's where you should be.
He's locked in. If someone was talking about me, he's just focused on fighting.
Yeah,
that's it. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't go out, I don't party, I don't do any of those things. If you were to call me on Saturday afternoon, like, hey, we're gonna go out tonight. What are you gonna do? I'm actually working out right now, and then I gotta go do this, that, because I'm gonna prep for Monday. Tomorrow's my rest day, so it's like,
I got it.
That's it. It's just he's only worried about fighting right now.
Pretty amazing. So last word is resilience.
Wrestling.
Bingo.
That's it.
And you know what? Based on those, I thought I was pretty crafty with coming up with this. But the fact that the wrestling is in there, how interesting is it that actually plays such a role in pretty much everybody? I mean, if you look at, if you look at some of the greats, there's a lot of wrestling in there that can actually kind of, it almost is an asset that a lot of people wish they had. Like from a striking, somebody comes into like MMA from kickboxing. It's a whole different game, right? They never really want to be on the ground. They want to be kicking, and it's like, so the idea for my next question for you is this. If you were to put mixed martial arts on the wall and then you started writing out what your best situation for, let's say, a 3-round fight would be, it would be standing, it would be take him to the ground, it would be wrestling up against the cage. What is the ideal fight for you to not only do well, feel proud of yourself, and win it? Is a submission involved, or would you rather have a knockout?
I think when it comes to that, I have no problem
with either of them, right?
Any of it.
When you train, what do you train the most? Seems like you've had more of a ground game for longer. So is striking right now more of your focus?
I would say within the last about 2 years or so, yeah.
Okay.
But this is something that really like helps me jump forward.
Yeah.
Right. Is with Tiki being my manager and having my wrestling background.
Yeah.
I was recently a part of Paulo Costa's camp. Right. Paulo Costa now is ranked number 4 at light heavyweight. Love the guy.
Amazing.
But
you were part of the camp.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
But he's not a wrestler. He's really good at grappling, but he's still not like a grappler. He's a striker, and he's damn good.
Yes.
So I would say within the last year and a half, my striking has like blown up. Like I think the reason why I bring up wrestling involved with it is because there's a saying in wrestling. It says, it's from Dan Gable, probably one of the greatest American wrestlers ever.
Yes.
It's once you've wrestled, everything else in life is easy.
I've read it.
And when I think of striking and like we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, put this footwork in, so on and so forth. I think of wrestling. I'm like, oh well, if that's like this, then it's like, oh, it's just like that, and then I get it right,
Oh, I see. So you're correlating the wrestling to foot position and everything else.
Exactly. I figured it out within that portion, in that sense, right? How to make it make sense to me, and then, but now, like I said, like now I can train with some of the best in the world, and I'm keeping up with them. So it's like, it's worked out well for me,
Okay, amazing. Let me ask you these. I'm going to put these into 3. So, what value, and how appreciative are you of what Tiki's role is in your journey right now? We're going to go specifically. Tiki Gozen. How is he making you a better fighter?
You know what? I think a lot of times, like, some people would just wish to be a fly on the wall in these rooms, you know what? And he puts me more than in the room. He puts me on the mat, When I first met Tiki, I was homeless, right? And like I was sharing all these things with like my fights. I'm like, hey, like, can you help me out? Like,
yeah.
And since then, when I first met him, I'm sorry, when after I met him and he's putting me on in these different places, training with all these different people, I'm like, holy shit, like this is awesome. Like the things that he's done for me, words aren't enough to explain how grateful I am for him, how valuable he is to me in my life and where I'm going and what I want to do. Like,
I love this.
He's probably one of the most important people in my life right now. And the skills that he's teaching me for my own future is even past fighting, unbelievable. And I hopefully when he does watch this, he doesn't make fun of me. He goes, "Wow, you're gay." But no, I love that guy.
Tiki's a piece of work. Actually,
Yeah.
He used to be crazy. There was a time I started jiu-jitsu at the old HB, and it was with Brady Fink. I don't know if you know Brady.
I know who that is.
Okay,
Yeah.
he's a whack job. Amazing strike, amazing grappler. but he's just so crazy. And it was like, I was treating in there. I said, I'm going to just start this jiu-jitsu thing. I'm like, whatever. Got the gi on, got the white belt on, went on the mats. He has no plan, no this or that. He just starts showing technique. And it was crazy. It was like reaping and all this stuff that's totally illegal. And we're learning all this stuff and thinking, I'm getting jiu-jitsu in. But it was such a great thing because it wasn't like we started very easy, and it wasn't let's run around, let's warm up. We just got our stuff on and we went out and did it. Yeah. And I love the guy, and he's just a crazy man. But I think probably 3 weeks into that training, this is how I have respect for Tiki. He said something I don't think he probably called me gay or something, whatever it was. And I actually just took my water and I just went whoosh, and I threw water and just landed, hit the ground. He slipped on the water, landed on his ass, got up, came and just freaking started pounding me, and right on my IT band. And this guy, it was like an environment where it was kind of chaotic, but yet what I learned from some of the things that he came across, he was like, you don't do that again. It was like I had some fun. He made a little joke that we're used to, but the whole place was just, everything was a learning experience on how to, for me, honestly, how to navigate all these different personalities that are actually kind of larger than life.
Yeah.
I mean, Bisping's in there, Tiki's in there, Rob's in there. It's like all these guys, and they've got there's a lot in the background, and they have a lot of experience, and you kind of watch it. But it was great because that's how I really got to know him and respect him. But I've watched him kind of move in this path of more empathy, more sympathetic, more giving, and really wanting to help people out. And you are what I'm seeing out of this, because that was roughly 2012 to now. Now I'm seeing him take somebody like you under his wing and say, boom, this is going to happen, and this is how we're going to get it done. And now he has all this experience and all these connections to make that happen. Whatever you need that he knows, he's going to be able to find it like that quick, which was amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the next question is with regard to Rob. How has the RSS, give me a little bit about it so people know, like anybody who's watching with regard to, they're currently MMA, how is his striking technique? You talk so highly of it. How has that changed your perspective on striking in general?
That's a really good answer.
Because I don't know, I know of it, but I don't know the details of it.
So,
and I'd love to know.
Imagine with jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah.
So you go to class, you warm up,
Yep.
They give you the move, you drill the move, go
Yep.
to the next move, so on and so forth, right? And then you guys probably start rolling. Sometimes you don't, depending on the day, right?
We do every time, or I wouldn't go.
Right.
There you go.
Now, when you wrestle, it's almost the same thing.
Yes.
Right. And it's almost the same thing when you step in with the RSS, right? But I think my most favorite part is when you go step into most gyms. This is something that I always bring up, and I always remember as a kid too.
Yeah.
Is like, here, this is how you throw your jab. Bam. Here's how you throw your right hand. Bam.
Yeah.
Cool. Here's a mouthpiece. Slap this headgear on. Are you busy right now? Hop into the ring real quick. You're going to train with this guy real quick. And
I'm already nervous.
You're
just
wait, what? I can't. My feet are crossed. What are you talking about? I don't even know if I'm in the right stance.
I got it.
And fortunately, with RSS, it teaches you how to do everything in your orthodox stance and your southpaw stance. A minute ago,
in both stances.
Yeah, everything that I mentioned a minute ago,
as it should, because you've got them both, right? So it has to.
So everything I mentioned a minute ago with training with Paulo Costa.
Yeah. I
was like, how could I say this? I wasn't good, nor was I decent in southpaw stance when I first met Rob.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like I don't fight both stances. I don't do that. Training with Rob for a while, then I started training with Paulo Costa, and he asked me if I can fight southpaw. I said, yeah, absolutely. But I wouldn't be where I was at in southpaw had I not met Rob. Had I not started doing RSS, because then it's like, for example, there's 3 levels to it, right? There's striking 101, technique advancement, and elite striking.
What time did you put into the opposite of what you normally strike in, the stance you normally strike in?
Right. So it was during the class.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of both. Like here,
interesting.
Like say this whole round, I'm gonna go southpaw, you're gonna go orthodox.
So you're just slowly working your way into getting comfortable.
And then
I got it.
Once I started training with Paulo, it was just like immediate, like okay, now I'm getting better at it. Now going southpaw, I'm like, all right, let's do it. I don't care.
Interesting.
And sometimes I'll even use that to get me out of bad situations. You know.
So if you booked a fight the end of this week, would you go in there and based off that, you'd feel confident enough to switch?
Yeah, 100%. I probably even would too.
Okay, how long have you felt the confidence that you have right now in striking? Because of your background of being on the ground so much.
I think always. Like I mentioned again.
Because you did work on it earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, you started 7. You
Yeah.
were striking then. It was just you. The wrestling was kind of a bigger piece, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think the biggest reason why I'm comfortable with it is because, like I said, I have 5 older brothers. You know, like that's normal.
You can't even imagine.
Yeah, you just fought. Like, here you go. Let's do it.
Okay, so another question, because I love mixed martial arts and I love watching it. You ever hear a fight where people are striking and somebody takes somebody down and they're slowly, methodically, like an anaconda, working their way into a submission, and you start hearing boos? It drives me freaking crazy.
All the time. I hate it.
Drives me crazy. It's called mixed martial arts.
I think it's probably the most mind-blowing thing because
you're taking away, I interrupted you, I apologize.
No.
You're taking away from the expertise of what they've worked so hard on because you're not getting to see a freaking knockout. It's mind-blowing to you because of what?
Because it's one of those things where I don't know if anyone remembers, but like UFC 1, for instance, like there was wrestlers versus strikers, but back in those days, it wasn't like mixed martial arts. It was Ultimate Fighting Championships. What style of fighting is the best?
Yes.
And so it's like, now we have an opportunity to put it all together, you know, and it's like, it's just crazy to me. Like it's nowadays people call them casuals, right? It's like, oh, you just watch because of so-and-so, right?
Yeah. I get it.
It's like, dude, for me, I've been watching this my whole entire life.
Yeah.
You know, and like I remember watching big names when I was a little kid and just think, wow, I want to be like that person. So like for me, it's like, how when you fight, how do you take away someone's weakness? Like if you choose not to, like this person's a striker, he's a better striker than I am, and I choose to continue to strike with him, that's my choice while I'm in there.
That's true.
You know? And if I want to take him down, again, that's my choice. Like it's whatever I want to do with him.
It's all what it feels like at the moment. Like, what's the best opportunity I have right now? Is the guy tired?
Yeah.
Is he not?
Yeah.
Is their feet slowing down? You know, whatever it may be. But that one really bothered me. And I love, you know, with regard to MMA, that is what it is. And so from a jiu-jitsu standpoint and a submission standpoint, how does your game kind of like fill in the gaps with that, or is that a big part of it? Are you interested more in one discipline over another as far as when you go in, or is that based on who you're fighting? When you're like what would be your ideal opponent? How about that? Your ideal opponent?
I think I'm okay with anyone, honestly.
So,
like kind of like I mentioned, like that gap is wrestling.
Yes,
you know, like
exactly.
if I want to take somebody down because they're a better striker than I am, then I can do so.
Yeah.
If I don't want to go to the ground with the person, I can also have that choice. Because at some point, there's going to be some sort of grappling exchange on the feet.
Yes.
Right? So it's like that gap kind of makes me comfortable to be wherever I want to be.
And I also think it makes you grow in all of those situations so you're ready for all of them.
Yeah, because then like at that point, you know, like, well, if I really want to take him down, I can. I just choose to be here. So now I'm forced to get better here.
Yeah,
because I choose to be here.
I get it.
Or vice versa, you know?
Yeah, that's true. So you feel like, let me ask you another question. What do you feel you need to work on? And that can be from a technique side. It could be from a fear or mental side or emotional side. What do you feel like you could say I could get better at everything. I could get better at striking. I could get better at submissions. I could get better at all that.
I think it'd be that.
Would it be the whole big picture? Just taking them all and just moving them up?
Yeah, honestly. And I think the reason being is just because I've fallen in love with the sport.
Yeah.
And I've fallen in love with how do I just get better? I'm the goal. Like, yes, I want to be the best, of course, but like, I feel like at the same time, I don't want to take away from. I'm already the best.
Yeah.
But I'm actually not. Like, I want to get better. How do I just get better?
Yeah, but you've got the right mindset there too, because you're confident at where you are, and then you're going to be confident at where you are, and then you're going to be confident where you are, and if that's the route, you're always going to be improving.
Yeah, 100%.
There's a lot of guys that are great at striking, and they get taken down, and it's over. Exactly. And they've all just practiced striking, right?
100%.
So your wrestling becomes a big factor. You know, it's like a Khabib kind of like vibe. The guy, you know, you see him wrap those legs around the bottom and just slowly work his way up. It's like, that is insane. I mean, that's what I love. Nobody's booing when that's happening.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they see the strategy there, and it's just like mind blowing.
I think one of the biggest things people want to see in there is just it be violent.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I think that's probably what like makes people not want to, but why they boo the submissions, because a lot of times it's just they're just grappling, they're not hitting them, they're not trying to like I feel like that's a lot of fighting today. Like everyone just wants to win. They don't want to like hurt somebody, you know.
Yeah, I get it. It's another interesting one is, I think sometimes I watch a few fights where there's guys just spending too much time checking distances and gunning with round one, just checking, and everybody's being careful. All of a sudden it's round 3, then it's round 4, and then they try to make something happen and it's over. You're like, that fight sucked.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Just, what you know, go fucking do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Check. Distance. It tells me that there's a fear there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the problem.
Exactly.
So that's why I ask these questions, like throw fear out. You don't have that issue, but you've got a well-rounded perspective from a technical standpoint, and a really well-rounded from a mental standpoint.
Yeah.
And then you got the guys around you. So last question, anybody outside of your brothers and your dad, Tiki, you're gonna kill me again, wrestling coach, Paul and
Razor
Rob. So what other elements are there that are giving you perspective on the big picture of you getting into this next fight and moving your way up? Anything outside of that, or is that your world right there?
I have 3 friends that I'm very close to.
Yeah.
And only one of them trains. 2 of them train, actually.
Okay.
Now I think about it. And sometimes like I have those days where I'm like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I have the idea of I'm too old. It doesn't matter. And or it's like I'm not good enough. I'm not this. I'm not that. You know, like anyone else. And I always call them. I always talk to them. Hey, like this is what's going on. And they always like laugh at me. Like, you sound really dumb right now. I'm like, why? They're like, this is everything you've ever wanted, and you're in a great position, like the best position anyone could be. What the hell are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, that was crazy. I'll talk to you later.
You know what, though? They probably learned that from you, and they're regurgitating it right back to you.
I think so, I'll tell you the truth.
That's what's going on.
I think so, I'll tell you the
That's
truth.
a crack up.
Yeah.
But they're supportive there. So, and you feel pretty comfortable. So give me a little more info about what could be happening with a fight coming up. Is it Tiki's job right there? You guys having a meeting? What does it look like? Is it like a high probability?
To book a fight, yeah. It's looking like it's going to happen. I don't know what or where yet. I don't know anything.
Organizationally, you don't know either?
I don't know anything yet. That's part of the conversation, right?
Killer.
To figure out what the goal is, right?
But this is the first. So this is the first time. I want to make clear for whoever's listening. This is the first time from you coming back from all this challenge to where you're literally going to book a fight.
Yeah.
That's such a big deal.
Get back in there.
So 2026 is your year, buddy.
Yeah. I'm so excited.
That's amazing.
I'm so excited because now, like, since then, like, since my last fight, I've trained with some of the best in the world.
Yes, you have.
And have evolved as a fighter, like, so much. And I think it's going to be very interesting for me, like, more than anybody else. Because, like, I also, like, it's just different when you're in there, you know? When you do it, like even when you're doing rolls at the gym, you know? It's different from doing that and, like, going live with somebody you don't know.
It's a whole hell of a lot different.
Yeah.
It's a whole hell of a lot different.
That's what I'm so excited for. Like,
exactly.
What am I going to do?
So there's your fear piece without the fear portion. It's face it, and you're just excited about what comes out of that. Yeah. I got one more question because this is important. I've always wanted to ask this. This is what happens with me in training jiu-jitsu. Like I know Buchecha, Marcus Buchecha, he's a 10-time black belt, or 11, 12 maybe now. He's retired, but I've always trained with high-level guys lucky enough to be in Checkmat that I was in for 12 years. And the high-level guys, when I would train with them, they would always be coming down to my level. So my question to you is, like, you get in the cage with Ortega. Do you guys, is there an how do I word this? Is there an understanding there of, you're newer, he's seasoned, is he taking it easy on you, or is it like, is he challenging you? It kind of explain that to me. When you fight with who you consider somebody that has proven themselves, when you get in there and you guys are sparring, do you feel like they're putting everything into it? Are they holding back a little bit for you? Does that make sense?
Right. No,
I'm curious about that, because the value of them not holding back gives you one perspective, and then holding back a little bit gives you another perspective. Like maybe you might think you're as ready as you are, but you might not be. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no.
I'm curious to see how that. I've never seen that in the MMA world as far as those. I mean, I've watched guys train, just being trained with so and so and whatever it may be. But what do you think about that?
That's a great question. I think. I think, and I would hope that they're not being too easy on me.
Exactly. That's the fine line.
If they are, then they are. Then there's nothing I could do about that. At the end of the day, the results will show when I fight.
Yeah, I get it.
If they are being too nice to me, then you
ever call them out and say, "Hey, are you being too nice to me right now?"
No, I think
it's too much respect.
Not even just that. Like, of course, I have respect for all of them, but
they're amazing guys.
I'm so passionate about it. Like, I can find one thing to focus on this whole time. So it almost
doesn't matter, huh?
Yeah,
You're badass.
Like that's why, like I said, like I love the game. So it's like everything I can get, every bit of knowledge, I can just make it better, just be better. That's my only goal. Just be better.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up with this. I want you to tell me, so people know what kind of injuries and what kind of things go on. You're gonna come in here for care, and what do you have going on right now that is limiting you, even if it's subtly, and it may be more significant. I'm not sure, but I'd like to know that. What hurts? What isn't completely fixed? And what is your biggest challenge coming out? Like, let me ask you this real quick, and then I'll come back to that. Is your knee feel like it's 100% and a 1 out of a 10?
Yes.
So you've got some solid ground on that knee.
I think the one thing I've learned about my injury and dealing with injuries is pre and post rehab.
Yeah, exactly.
Pre and post.
Well, that's still a valid point.
And I think that those two things made the world of a difference for me.
Okay.
Because
when you had the surgery, you had good rehab.
Yes.
Okay,
great. Like I think I was so attentive to it that it makes it seem like now like this is my better knee than this one.
Okay, this is kind of cool.
So I think that's probably one of the most important things.
Okay. Anything else? So your knee's in good shape. What's going on with your neck? What's going on with your neck?
So there's this crazy thing. I don't know if it was from training with Paulo. I don't know what it was from, but lately it's just been like really bad. Like I have to crack my neck every few minutes. Like I could probably do it now. Tell you the truth.
You get short-term relief from the adjustment.
Yes. So,
and then it settles. But is the pain a numbness, a tingling? Is it a burning? Is it pain?
Tingling, burning, and pain.
Okay.
Right.
All of those. Yeah. Pretty much all day long.
Most of the day, yeah.
And you get a little pop, and you feel better for a second.
The next hour or two, and I'm good. And then
do you feel like you have full range of motion in your neck?
Yeah, I can do everything I need to do.
Anything in the mid back? Anything in between the shoulder blades?
In between the shoulder blades, for sure. Like there's knots in there. Like it's crazy.
So you're just training a lot. Bottom line,
pretty much
is really the fact. So and
and the hard part is like my recovery right now hasn't been the best because I've been working so much. So
I get it.
Once work starts to clear up a little bit, then for sure.
Well, I think I'm going to try to help that part out. But how about flexibility? A lot of recovery requires, like if you have scar tissue in your quad, your quadricep because of that injury, and you got an IT band that tore, and an MCL or an LCL or an ACL, whatever it may be, the scar tissue builds up and kind of creates like a lock in tissue. Do you spend a decent amount of time stretching?
100%. I can do some of the craziest kicks with this left leg. I
love it. Okay, I don't hear this too often, so it's great.
No, because like I said, my prehab and my post rehab it was so important that I attacked it so much and so hard and so often that it was like, okay, well, it's fine now. I could do more stuff with this.
Okay, so you don't really feel many limitations, but we're going to try to get rid of some pain, a little irritation, rhomboid areas where you bring your shoulder blades back. It's tight in there. Yeah, but this 100%. Is your training. So that's par for the course. Your goal now is to get the fight, get a camp set up, and start working.
Get to work.
So I'm committing to you that I'm going to help you get those areas under control where you don't feel them, and then you guys are going to figure out when that fight happens.
Yeah.
It's freaking amazing, dude.
Hopefully you'll be there too. It'll be fun.
I will be there for sure.
Absolutely.
So anyway, you know what? This was great. So I'm going to wrap it up.
Of course.
This was an amazing story for me because I haven't seen somebody so confident in a long time.
Yeah.
You have gone through a lot and you've come out of it with more confidence than I've seen in a long time. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, man.
Okay, dude. Thank you so much.
Of course, brother.
Talk soon. Talk soon.